Hello, my scrappy friends, and welcome once again to my channel today. Again, this is another share that I'm kind of a little bit behind on. This one's for Cut to You, and I'm creating with this month's first freebie cut file, which is this awesome sunray. So, as you can see, I have done a mixed media layout. I had heaps of fun with this one, and this page came together even better than I thought it would. So what I have got there is a piece of marshmallow, I believe. Yes, marshmallow cardstock that I have put some gesso on. So you can see me madly rubbing that line out because it was not quite in the right place. And it didn't rub out particularly well because of the gesso. But you can see I've cut that cut file, and I'm going to use it as a stencil. But before I do that, I am going to do some colour on my background. So obviously that's a sun ray. I'm going to use some reds and yellows and oranges, but the photo I'm using, you just saw it a second ago, is of my boys on the beach. So I thought I would do a bit of a scene. So I'm using some distressed oxide inks and the packaging technique here, and I've marked where I'm going to pop the cut file just with a pencil, and I'm going to, because I don't want muddy colours, I'm going to keep the blue to the bottom as best I can. I'm using the packaging technique, some water, a paintbrush, and I'm just having a bit of fun with colour. Love these distress oxides, they are so super fun to play with. So I decided that I needed to do something to not get the colour everywhere on the top 2/3 of that page, and I've used the backing here, which you'll see I do swap out in a minute because it doesn't work as well as I had hoped it would. Actually, I might not swap it out until I start on my sun. I can't remember, but you'll see in a sec. So I'm just drying off each colour as I go. I've used Mermaid Lagoon, I think, and Broken China, I think. I can't find my bit of paper with all my... Let me see if I can find it. So I'm just, like I said, adding colour. For this layer, I didn't love the way those lines were drying as I heat set it, so I'm just reactivating the colour and removing it. And there I've come in with some painter's tape, and I'm just adding a bit of colour along that bottom edge. I don't know what I've done with my bit of paper. If you do want to know the colours, please leave me a comment and I will get them as soon as I can for you So if you follow me on Facebook, my To the Stars and Back page, you will have seen that I've just posted an update saying, you know, is anyone else like me and you, instead of packing away, you reorganize? That's me. So I'm not sure where things are right now. My room is in a better place than it was yesterday. But let's just say it's not perfect. I don't ever go for perfect. Okay, so my distress oxide is all dry and I'm coming in with some splatters. I thought it would be easier to match the colour of a paint rather than reactivating oxide ink pads. I found that I don't love the splatters from the ink pads on gesso. They kind of spread too much. The beauty of having gesso, I've used clear gesso on this page, is I can clean off where the splatters go, where the colour goes where I don't want it. Peeled off that tape. Now I don't make you watch this. You can see that I'm having a hard time getting this off here. It's like a spider's web and it sticks to itself. And here I go. Again, I do not make you watch this, but you can see I'm just lining it up. I'm trying to get it reasonably straight, but I know that I'm going to trim down this cardstock, so it's not the end of the world if it is not straight. You can see it's a big old mess there, so I do turn the camera off and stick it down nicely. And I'm coming in with my distress oxides and this little tool. I love this. It works for me so much better than the little round blending tool. I have real trouble blending, so I'm going to run with what works for me. Abandoned coral is the first colour I'm coming in with here. Most of this gets covered up. You just see a little bit of it peeking out. So I'm just adding the abandoned coral. Then I'm going to come in with my orange, which is spiced marmalade. And you can see I'm just adding that and blending those two colours. Cleaning off my brush, I don't want to get my ink pad dirty. This is mustard seed, I think. And so I'm just doing that same technique, just adding colour. And I really love how this turns out in the end. I'm so impressed. It worked so well. I think because I used the sticky removable vinyl, it didn't move at all. And so I think that really helped as well. You can see I'm just fading out the edges there. I don't really want any harsh lines. Obviously I will have a harsh line on that right hand edge, but you can see that it's not quite straight. I was always planning on using that as a cutting guide to trim down my cardstock. I do come in with a darker red here. I think it's festive berries, and I only use a little bit of it, and then I blend that out again. I have sped this up pretty quick. So I'm just adding some splatters with my water mister, and that I love how that turns out. It looks so cool. I did try to peel this off so that I could reuse it, but it doesn't work. Either that or I'm just incredibly impatient, which is highly likely. With this cut file, I do recommend removing it fairly slowly. Because of those thin lines, it is a bit fragile. So you can see that is my background all done there. I love how this turned out. I really do. I'm going to trim it down. Like I said, I'm going to use that edge as a straight edge and then square it up. I'm trying to be smart here and measure, and it doesn't work. I don't know why I even bothered measuring. It's me. But that's okay. So I am using that cut edge as my straight edge to trim down this cardstock. And I'm like, this is not even. What have I done? It's really quite funny. This is not the only time I kind of go, what are you doing with cutting paper? But that's okay. I love how this turned out. I'm going to do a bit more to the background. So I have sealed my background. While that was drying, I have cut down the cardstock that I'm going to use in the background. So the yellow is a Vicky Bouton paper from, I can't remember which collection. And then that dark brown is actually a Simple Stories collection, and that's where I messed up my cutting again. I don't really know what I did or how I managed to screw it up, but I did screw it up, and that's okay. These things happen. You can see I've got all that stitching. So I used gold thread through all of the sun rays, and then I've used blue thread down where the water is. And I really love the extra texture that brings. I'm going to glue all my layers together because that sealer is now dry. I've also added some gold splatters to just the top. I didn't really want to cut into this paper, but I love it. That's why I didn't want to cut into it, but I'm glad that I've got it on a page. I have been hoarding it for a little while. I'm using Simple Stories. I almost said Christmas collection. This is not a Christmas collection. This is a summer collection. Husband bought me tea or coffee, think it was coffee because it was in the afternoon. Adding some foam. You can see I've got some alphas to the side there. Just going to stick that down, just the one layer behind my photo. Then I'm going to stick my title down. That scripty font is one of my favorites of all time ever, and I'm running out. I want more in my life and I can't find them. So if you're hoarding some and want to get rid of them, let me know. If you know where I can buy some, let me know. So I've gone with Summer Beach Life. We are lucky in that we only live about 20-minute drive from the ocean. We are very, very lucky, and we get the beautiful sunsets here in WA. But it's really quite funny. Every time we go to the beach, my kids and my husband, I must say, and my husband, always dig holes. They are personally not my favourite thing. I don't like getting sand under my nails and stuff, but they love it. They thoroughly enjoy it, and so let's embrace what it is. I love this ampersand. Kind of been hoarding that as well, but pulled in, so I wanted to carry that blue over a little bit. And you can see I'm just pulling stickers from the sticker sheet. I haven't left a lot of this processing because it's a lot of moving things, trying things that don't work. I don't know that I love this cluster up here on top of the photo, but it's there and it's done. I do love everything else about this page, so I'm rather happy. I'm going to add in my journaling here. Again, I don't love this gold pen. If you know of a gold pen here in Australia, somewhere where I can buy a good one that is not a big fat tip, please let me know. I'm going to stamp in my date. I'm just checking on the back to see what that is like. I got this in my December daily kit from Ali Edwards. Beautiful ink. I love it. I've only used it once. Covering up my photo, and I'm going to add more black. No, not black. Gold splatters. Just wanted to bring that gold to the top of the page again. I will leave the link to the newsletter sign up in my description box below. This is a freebie. I love it. It is so super fun. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave them below. If you want to know the colours I've used also in that blue, please let me know and I will find my bit of paper with all of the information on it. Make sure you sign up to that newsletter freebie. Gwen does 2 freebies a month, which is pretty awesome. And of course, if you don't know, obviously Gwen has the Cut to You cut file shop, but she also does custom cuts. So if you don't have a machine, you can get Gwen to cut them for you and she will send them out anywhere in the world. How incredible is that? I had so much fun with this. It turned out better than I thought it would. This is a super fun file. Really, really love it. As always, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I really appreciate all of your support and all of your kind words. I may be late getting back to you, but I always do. Thank you for stopping by and have a fabulous scrappy day.